the Republican senators are proposing something backed by big business, so you know this is going to be good. They're saying that they want to allow American companies to repatriate their foreign earnings back into the United States. Now, what does that mean? They make money outside the U.S., and when they bring it back in, they got to pay taxes. So instead of bringing it back in, they just keep it outside the U.S. It would be advantageous to them, and it would lead to helping our economy and certainly our tax base, et cetera, if they brought that money back in. And they want to bring it back in, otherwise they wouldn't have brought this up in the first place. But if they do, they have to pay the regular tax rate on it, which is 35%. They don't want to do that. Paying taxes is for suckers. It's for you poor people. Taxes. So the new Republican proposal as part of the stimulus package is to charge, instead of 35%, 5.35%. Now, to get a sense of the enormity of the amount of taxes that they're shielding from the U.S. government by not bringing it back into the U.S., just charging 5.35% would raise $565 billion of additional tax revenue. I mean, that almost solves the entire problem right there. If instead of charging 5%, we charge 10%, it paid for the whole stimulus package. If they paid the actual 35% they're supposed to, it would solve all of our financial problems. Almost all. We could pay for the Iraq war, we could pay for the stimulus package, we could pay for the bailout, and we might have money left over for health care and energy. But God forbid the corporation should actually pay the taxes that they owe. No, can't have it, can't do it. So they're using this as an opportunity with their helpers, the Republican senators, to try to sneak the money back in by paying only 5% rather than 35%. Now, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place because we need that money desperately. So a part of me thinks, well, if we can somehow incentivize them to bring it back in, maybe it does make sense to cut a deal. Maybe it's 25%. Shoot, maybe it's 10%. Maybe it's as low as that to get the money back in because we need it. But see, here's my fundamental problem with that. That means they're holding the money ransom over our head. Oh, we're not going to pay our taxes. We're not going to do it unless you lower our rate from 35 to 5. What are you going to do now? You want us to pay it? Well, then lower the taxes. Now, do you get to do that? Do you get to say to the U.S. government, I don't like paying my taxes. I'm not going to pay 35%. Until you agree to give me 5%, I'm not going to do it. Well, you'd be in jail. Unless, of course, you had Republican senators to help you out, which does happen from time to time, and it happens in this case. So here's my new idea, okay? Again, in this crazy world where Cenk Uygur is president, look, you're going to pay those taxes, and you're going to bring that money back in here, or we're going to have consequences. Look, I'm not going to start by taking out whole industries at a time. I don't want to cause economic trouble. I'm not going to start with the biggest one of you. But I'm going to make an example out of one or two of you. I'm going to grab you and I'm going to say, hey, listen, if you don't pay your taxes like you're supposed to, I'm going to look into every nook and cranny of your business. And you better make damn sure that everything you're doing is on the up and up and everything is legal. Because I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. Now, how does 35% sound? Well, maybe I'll pass a bill where it'll be 45%. So pay your frickin' taxes. It's tax day. That's not how these guys roll. If they let him come back in at 5%, I won't be surprised at all. And as usual, it'll be ridiculously weak. Well, you can say it this way. You want to keep your money abroad. I get it, and it's a new world, it's international business, etc. And you think, all right, why don't I just keep it in Holland or Japan or wherever I have it? That's great. You're no longer an American company. You want to be a multinational company, that's great. And some of you will not be able to get contracts with the American government because you're not an American company. And I'd start with a defense contractor, and I'd work my way down. Say, if you don't want to pay American taxes, well, then I'm not going to give you government contracts from the United States of America. It's the most obvious thing in the whole wide world. You want to get government contracts from the U.S., then pay your frickin' taxes. We've got to keep negotiating with these guys.